Hi everyone, it's Irma with Juicy Journals, and today I'm going to share a final flip through of my version of a Floral Shabby Chic journal, and it measures 8 3/4 by 6 1/4, 8 3/4 by 6 1/4, and then the spine is 3.5 inches. So I just used some vintage fabrics for my journal. And here you can see the roses. This was actually a vintage nightgown. And so here's my journal. It's pretty chunky. And this is a vintage fabric as well. So let me go ahead and open it like this. So this is the first part of the journal. And on this side we have a flip up and a flip down, but this here is actually a vintage snippet roll that I did using various laces and materials, and then these two are vintage buttons as well. So let me go ahead and unwind that. Oh, forgot one. So it opens like this, and here at the top, make sure you can see that. Here in the top, you have a small pocket right here to tuck something in there. You have small pockets, 4 small pockets there. Down here, you also have another pocket. And so this flips out. You can journal or put picture here. And then these are pockets. Both of these are pockets. And so then it flips out this way. And here you have 2 envelopes, and it also has a pocket in the back. On this side, this actually removes, and this is the backing of that. And so on this folio, this one here is a pocket here. Oops, sorry, wrong way. Pocket here, and then, okay, just a pocket there, I guess. And then it flips open this way. You have a pocket here, a pocket here. Oh my gosh, this has so many flips and pockets and stuff. So you have another pocket here. This one opens up. You have an envelope here and a large pocket here and another envelope here. And this just goes in. And then on the back side of that, you have this big envelope as well. So this goes down this way. And then this one goes here. And then we'll close that up in just a second. Put this back. Just going to do it like that for now. And so here in this area, you have a small journal. And in this one, this is a plain journal. It just has a picture here in the front, some digitals. I do not remember what digitals I used. And this is actually a vintage scrapbook frame. And so this one opens up this way. And then you have a large doily here. This is a little pocket also that you can tuck something in there. This is a vintage handkerchief, and I love how grungy this handkerchief is, and it has small rosebuds. Those are all rosebuds. And then this flips open, and you have another pocket here. And then you have the plain paper. This is all handmade cotton paper, and it feels so smooth. It's just wonderful. So I thought I'd include this for someone, you know, so they can have extra room for journaling. And of course, this is the back of the handkerchief and the back of the doily. And I just went ahead and left this plain in case they wanted to add some pictures or do whatever they want in this section. And then this is the back. And so it has this journal. And then here in the middle, we do have just a large envelope that I made I wanted to make sure, that they had enough room, whoever buys this journal has enough room to store things. And I went ahead and put a large tag in here and a small one with the roses. I kind of stuffed it with the tags. That way, whoever buys it can place them wherever they like. And on the back, it has coffee dye paper. And this paper is actually vintage scrapbooking paper. It was from a vintage scrapbook that I had. And I went ahead and used the paper to back that up. And then here's, I believe this is from Tim Holtz that I included in there. And so those go stuffed in there. Oops. And then I'll go ahead and tie that up in a bit. All right. And then here, let me remove the journal. And then here on this side, we have the same flip up and flip down with the vintage snippet roll that I made. Vintage buttons here. I believe there's another one down here. It's covered up. There you go. And so this flips down and up. And on this side, I did go ahead and include a little bit of tags on there. Let me see so you can see it. Some small tags I included in there on this side. And the same thing here on the bottom. And so this one here flips out this way. And here you have a picture of some little girls, also backed with that scrapbook paper. And then here we have a pocket that you can put stuff in. And then here, this here is a pocket. It already has a tag in there, but it's a pocket there. And then a larger pocket here. And I went ahead and stuffed it also with some tags. So that's what's on this side. Oops. Go ahead and put that back. Trying not to take too long with this flip through. All right. And then here you have a large pocket also. An upside down pocket there. And a piece of that snippet roll. And some more vintage fabric. And so this here is the journal. And the journal has the same measurements, except the spine is a 2-inch spine. And it has 2 signatures on this one. It is a soft cover journal, and it's covered in fabric. So let's go ahead and open it up. And here in the front, right off the bat, you have a digital printed out in fabric that I purchased from someone, but I don't remember who I purchased it from. So that will be to be continued on that one. And then I have a vintage doily here. I have another tag here as well. And then I just have a little flower here. This is from a vintage book that I had, and I backed it also with a vintage cardstock. And then, oops, this is some fussy cutting that I did from a magazine that I have, and I thought it looked really nice in this journal. In here, I also went ahead and include a vintage deed. Also, I love including vintage items in this journal to make it more interesting for whoever gets it. And so the paper is amazing on this. I just love these. They're gorgeous. And it does have the seal here as well, and it has its signatures. And then this is the back part. So I included that. You have another tag here of roses. And then you have a vintage envelope that I went ahead and put in there. So that's what's in the front cover. And, you know, whoever buys the journal can play with it and place the items wherever they like. Oops, forgot this one. There you go. So we have another floral tag here, back with the cardstock paper. We have a vintage postcard. I love it when they're written on the back like this. It's just really nice to read what people would write back then on these postcards. And then you have an index card, and then you have another vintage paper. You have a pocket right here. This right here on the bottom is actually vintage wallpaper. And then I went ahead and put a layer of lace on top of that. You have a vintage doily that would used to be put on wine glasses to cover the wine glass. I thought this was so cute. I'd never seen anything like that, so I included one of those in there. You have another vintage postcard here. On the pages, I also included some more vintage fabric along the side there. These papers here are avocado dyed. These pink ones that I included here, they're avocado dyed. These are just some additional vintage papers that I included in here from all different types. Vintage envelope. Another piece of that backing paper. Recipes. And another card. So, all that goes in here. I'll put it nice and pretty once I'm done. I'm done with it because it's a lot of stuff. Oops. Okay, on this side, we have this teacup. And it pops open like this so you can journal on the inside of it. We have more vintage paper. Some stationery paper. This is like an off-white cream color. Really nice. Some more vintage magazine paper. Goes in here. You have this beautiful woman with that hat from back in the day. Some more vintage paper. Some coffee dye glassine paper that I made. Let me remove this one here. You have another vintage recipe for chocolate pineapple brownies. That sounds good right about now. You have another postcard here. Look at this doll. Gorgeous. And that's the back. You have a pocket here. Oops, a pocket here that I just stapled on there. Some more flowers. This cutie right here. And it's a vintage postcard from, I can't read the date, 1907. 1907. And then we have more vintage papers. Vintage ads about strawberries and plants. On this side, you have a tag, and you have another one of those stationery papers as well. Some vintage music paper. Another tag slips into that pocket right there. Some more stationery paper. More writing paper that I just went ahead and threw in like that. Nice and loose. To keep you on your toes. We have another pocket right here made out of vintage lace. And I went ahead and stuffed it with some more items in here. English antique furniture. About that. More vintage paper, a vintage doily. More ads, more vintage ads from the Sears Roebuck and Company. And then this beautiful picture. I love how these girls came out right here. So interested in what their mom's reading, huh? And then you have another page here, a dictionary page. I went ahead and reinforced the music paper right here because it is fragile. So I went ahead and reinforced it with some washi tape. More avocado dye paper. More vintage papers from books. Flowers. Coffee dye. Stationery paper. And then this is so cute. And then here you have some just some vintage receipts and book pages. Vintage envelope as well. You have a sticker here. And then here you have another image of those similar young ladies backed with a vintage Sears book page. Another recipe. I guess I want whoever gets this to start cooking, huh? And then another vintage book page. And get this. And then this is an I believe it's an Edith Holden page that I went ahead and included here. Avocado paper. And then here you have a little pocket. You can stuff something in there. And then this is also a little, should be, there you go. It's a little pocket. This flips out. And this is from a bottle cap that I went ahead and stapled there. Another postcard. More vintage ephemera. This one is not vintage though, but the pink paper is. We have a pin here with a little flower. Book page. Some more pictures. Another one of those flowers that you saw on the envelope. On the envelopes. Here you go. I'll show you the picture of that. And then this just comes off right here. And then this is a pocket made out of vintage paper. And you have a tag and more items to journal on. And then this flips out. You have a pocket here and another pocket here. Flip the page. So this one is just set in like that. I have a pink cardstock paper. I believe it's like a linen paper or something because it does have texture to it. On this side you have another vintage postcard and another envelope from 1908. Turning the page, you have receipts, more magazine pages, and then you have a library card. Here, you have a vintage prescription, vintage receipt from the tax collector. Let's not forget about those guys. All right, and here you have some more vintage ephemera that I just paper clipped on there. Vintage ticket, more vintage envelopes, more vintage ephemera. This here is mulberry paper, and I love this. The texture on this is amazing, and it just opens up like this. I went ahead and left it blank so that you can journal on. I don't know if you can see the texture on that. It's gorgeous. Have a bingo card, vintage slide, also a vintage receipt back here. You have a vintage report card from 1935. And that's the inside and the back side. And this one pops out like this. And this is just a bookkeeping vintage sheet. I put this paper clip back. The paper clip, some of the paper clips that I used I went ahead and rusted myself. And then on the back you have a pocket with a tag and an envelope. And I included more ephemera in this envelope. It's like maybe 8 or 10 pages or so. And this is the back side of the journal. All right, so that concludes my flip through. I hope you all liked it. If you liked it, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.